If you're looking for cutesy business advice, then you came to the wrong place. We are for amazing women founders, moms, wives, and entrepreneurs with growing businesses. We're here to share all of our stories, the struggles and the triumphs, raw and unfiltered. Our goal to inspire, empower, and help you learn something along the way. This is Entrepreneu, the podcast, and we are the Entrepreneu crew. Welcome back to another episode of the Entrepreneu podcast. You're here with the Entrepreneu crew. I'm Kia-Shun, founder of ShampooTime.
I'm Khadija Robinson, founder of Aqua Waterproof Headwear.
And I'm Oyinade, founder of Aarin Co.
Britt's not here with us today, but we have a very special guest. This is Tahaji Felder. This is the woman who brought the Entrepreneu crew together.
Yes.
We wouldn't be sitting here without her. And so she needs a proper introduction. So
Okay, read that bio.
let me read the bio. Yes. Okay, Ms. Tahaji Felder, equipped with a master's degree in international business from Nova Southeastern University under her arm, Tahaji Felder led a career in finance for 10 years. Taking a leap and pursuing her passion for fashion, she transitioned her career and became a social entrepreneur, launching Goose & Gander brand in 2015. Through mentoring and coaching early startup founders, Tahaji then worked for a network for teaching entrepreneurship. To date, Tahaji has mentored over 100 founders. Yes, and has shared her journey to help others through various features, including TED Talk. Her motto is, life is too short not to go the unpaid route.
I know
Welcome.
Listen, I am in such incredible company. This is an honor. I mean, I'm flew out. To the DMV from Minnie, so I'm so excited. This is incredible. I'm forever proud of y'all. So excited to be here.
Thank you so much.
We are so happy to have you. I mean, it is, I know you feel honored, but we are really the ones feeling honored right now.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And you guys remember one of our first episodes, we talked about our individual entrepreneurial journeys. And so we're curious, Tahaji, how did your journey start? Was it back in 2015 with Goose & Gander? Or was it before then? I mean, give us the scoop.
Okay, man. Okay, you guys are the pros at entrepreneurship here, but so I would say it probably started in my childhood.
Wow.
In my mind.
Okay.
In my mind.
Okay.
I am Jamaican American, and like a good immigrant child, if you didn't become an accountant, a nurse, a doctor, a lawyer, what do you even do with yourself? Right?
Yeah, like
why are you even here? So I want to be a pediatrician actually.
Wow.
Yes. So I went to school studying pre-med. I'll never forget the class. I was dissecting a frog, and I was like, "This ain't for me. This ain't for me. This is not. This is not my route." And then I became an accountant actually. But again, following the path that my family wanted me to follow. Yeah. But in the back of my mind, right? Again, the passion for fashion, want to start my own brand was kind of always like there, but I was to stop it.
When she walked in, we were like, what?
Y'all are trying to keep up with y'all. And it was always kind of hovering, but I think I didn't have the courage, to be honest. I think initially to go after it. I think number two, I didn't think I would actually make a real living because we know entrepreneurship is hard.
Yeah, it's hard out here.
Right. Wanting that, steady paycheck, 9 to 5 paycheck. But it was always inside of me. I even moved to New York initially, thinking I was going to be Carrie Bradshaw, little Sex in the City thing. Pursuing fashion, that didn't work out. Ended up being an accountant. Was always kind of hovering. So I would say just before Goose & Gander, but then really like taking that. Actually got laid off from my job in New York. And that's what made me start Goose & Gander. It's so
blessing in disguise.
It is so funny, and I'm sure all of you can resonate somehow in your journeys, right? There's always that thing, that catalyst that we think is not going to be the thing
Yes.
that propels us into like where we need to be.
Yes.
Preach.
So being laid off was like that propeller for me. I could have moved to Michigan. I mean, no shade. I don't know nobody in Michigan. Moved to Michigan. I don't know nobody. But I took that opportunity to actually start my own brand after I was laid off. I'm like, it's pretty much now or never.
Yeah.
You try now or it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, so
can
did we
definitely-
all want to be doctors? I feel
I was
like
about to say,
I wanted to be a veterinarian.
I wanted to be an obstetrician.
Stop it.
Yes. Organic chemistry took me out and said, girl, you better think again.
She is actually a doctor.
Yeah, and I
Pharmacy.
actually went to pharmacy school, so I am a PharmD. I'm a doctor of pharmacy,
What?
and
Yeah.
so
This.
yeah, you know, sometimes we actually reserve some of these things about us so we can learn on the show
Yes.
too.
Okay.
And we're like,
Absolutely.
wow, really?
Yeah.
But yeah, I can definitely resonate with your story. I'm Nigerian American, traditional route. These were your options, and
Yes.
also we all kind of had that same experience with that life-changing moment that kind of got us to
Yes.
where we are today.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that is really nice to hear.
Yes.
Curious though, what were some of the struggles and key milestones along the way?
Ooh, what was it? I think the first struggle was overcoming myself, to be honest. I think to me personally, I think that's one of the biggest struggles with entrepreneurs, right? Lots of imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Lots of, oh, but that already exists. Lots of, is there room for me? Can I survive? Again, make money?
Yeah.
Is this actually going to be a thing? So to be honest, imposter syndrome at the beginning for me.
Yeah.
Is this thing actually going to work? Even what I'm doing now, supporting founders. Like I would have never thought in a million years I would have been on this journey and where I am now. So I would say that's number one. I think number two, not knowing where to go for resources.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
That is a big
think,
one.
Yep.
It is. We live in the most accessible time that we
Yes.
could ever
Ever.
imagine, but yet inaccessible time.
Inaccessible.
Yes.
Right?
Crazy.
We
Yeah.
think we can just Google information. It's like yes, but not really.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who are gatekeeping information.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
And we don't do no gatekeeping
No
over
gatekeeping here.
I know
Yeah.
that's right. I know that's right.
Yeah.
No gatekeeping.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know that's right. So
Yeah.
I think not knowing where to start kind of look, or too much information.
Yeah.
Analysis
Overload.
paralysis.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So overcoming myself was the first one. Not knowing where to go for the resources. I would say number three, for me personally, kind of looking for my family and friends to support along the way. And although, right, they are our initial fans and it's supposed to be
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
right? Sometimes they
They
not.
feel
Yeah. They're-
Sometimes they like, what you mean, a business? What you doing? Like, is it legit?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yep.
Why when we start businesses, people are, wait, is it for real though?
Yeah.
Like, what
Yeah.
you mean? Is it for real?
Yep.
You know, so looking for kind of like that support group and
Yeah.
being okay with them not being there.
Yeah.
That's true.
I've
Yeah.
talked to so many founders that said their support is not, not their family and friends. Like
Yeah.
It's not.
strangers
It is
are the
not.
ones who are going to support you
Yes.
most of the time
Yes.
more than your family.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's crazy that it's like that.
Yes.
It's like, can I get a repost? Can you even just share your story?
You're gonna share somebody who you don't even know.
Yeah.
But I post something and you won't even share
Won't
it.
even
Half
share
of
it.
the time you won't even
I'm about to say,
like
half the
it.
time you don't even like it. It's crazy.
You're looking at my stories, but
Yes.
you never saying congratulations
Yes,
or
or nothing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what I realized though, a lot of it is also their own insecurity, right?
True.
They see you doing something that's really bold and really living your authentic self and really living your life, putting something out there.
Yeah.
And most people don't have the courage to do that.
Right.
Put something, take a chance.
Take a chance.
When you start a business, you are actually putting yourself on Front Street to fail, to
Front
win,
Street.
right? Front Front Street
To fail.
to win, to be embarrassed, right?
Everything.
Potentially,
Yes.
all the things, So I feel like a lot of times people just their own insecurities, like, wow, she has the audacity to do something. And inside they want to do the same thing, but they just have the courage to do it.
Yeah.
You know, another way I interpret that too is, you know how they say like your friends and family are not your customer.
At all.
Yeah.
So like, don't try to build a business that caters to them, right? It's not necessarily the same aspect as it relates to like supporting you or not supporting you, but like you can't expect them to purchase from you every single time. That's not what's gonna make you money or be successful. So that's another way to kind of think of it too, with the support system. So
go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think one thing that people who are not entrepreneurs don't really relate to is that even though we look like we got it all figured out, you know, we got struggles every day. Every different level of business comes with struggles and insecurities and trying to figure out what's the next move. Is this the right move? You know, so I could today I can be like, you know, this amazing thing happened, and tomorrow it's like, well, what do I do next? You know, like, where am I going? Where's my business going? So you're right. I think people have insecurities on them not, you know, being brave and starting businesses because they think it's all glitz and glamour. But it's not.
It is not. It is not. I tell people, if you want to be stressed out, if you want to lose sleep, if you want to be an entrepreneur,
if you want to be broke,
if you want to be broke, if you want to test your fortitude, be an entrepreneur.
And on the flip side of that, though, amazing things.
The rewards.
The rewards.
The rewards. I think so much of the journey is tied to our wellness as well. I notice with a lot of entrepreneurs, usually a lot of the fear around is actually like the thing they're overcoming, even personally. I know that was for me. A lot of, again, you know, confidence, right? Self-esteem. A lot of it was tied to entrepreneurship for me and what that looked like kind of going through it, right? And every time I overcame something small along the journey, entrepreneurship, that's a lot of small wins. It's like, you know, it's like 10,000 wins.
And you have to celebrate them
and
in that moment.
all of them.
Exactly.
And it's a testament to, okay, I overcame this little thing, overcame that little thing. And every time you do it, I know for me, my confidence just built.
For sure.
Yeah.
So that in itself sounds like a lesson learned, but like if you could double click on that a little bit and tell us like, what would you say like one of the biggest lessons you've learned from your successes? Like what would that be?
I think the biggest thing for me is we have to spend our life doing what we love. And I feel like it's so cliche. Do what you love. It sounds so cute.
It's like easy to say,
right? Follow your passion. But it is really not easy.
It's not
at all.
Right?
Gotta work. But the power of doing that. This life is so short.
It is.
It really is.
So we are already more than halfway through 2024.
I know.
This year just started.
Like a blink of an eye.
And I feel like the older we get, the faster the time goes by. And it's like,
what in the world? You just wake up and it's just like a whole different world.
Whole different world. Whole different world.
Especially when you have kids too. Because when they're like growing, it's like, part of 7, girl, you were just 1. You were just in my belly. How are you about to be 8 already? Like,
episode 1. Did y'all know I was pregnant? Time flies by like this.
Episode 2, got a baby.
No, time is really going by. For me, it's scary because it's just like,
it is.
I'm 35. Like,
I know.
When I was younger, 35 was old. 40 was old.
Listen.
Like, you're 40, you're old.
Listen,
but like you're young.
I am young. Yeah, of course.
I know.
Of course.
How old are you, Khadija?
You will never
Stop
believe.
it.
I know. Baby, this girl is 16. She's like, show me her license.
I don't talk about it.
I just attended her high school graduation or something.
Stop it. Cut it out.
What?
Cut it out.
That is crazy.
Isn't that
Yeah.
We need the skin routine.
Yeah.
We need the regimen.
Yes. Oh, the baby. You're the baby of the group, right? You're the
I
baby.
am. I am the youngest. I am 32.
Oh my God.
Yes.
You're a baby.
Yeah.
But we're the same age?
I'm 43. Yes.
Oh, your birthday.
wow.
So that's they're really the same.
That's how I was like, wait,
Yeah.
we're the same age?
You're the
Like,
same.
that's crazy. You look like a baby.
I feel.
Yeah.
You know, don't crack.
guys
You already know.
Beautiful.
Oh, you're the best.
sure.
I feel like, especially when I turned 40, like these past 3 years even just flew, and I've really been reflecting on things like legacy, time, and how am I spending my time, and being intentional with my time, and just really like diving in. So I would say that'd be the biggest lesson. Even if you know somebody wants to start a business, right, and it can't be your full-time career, but just making it a hobby or a thing, right? Because this life is so short, it's so fleeting, and if we could spend more time enjoying and doing what we love where we can, right? I mean, why not? Why not?
That's true.
Yeah, that really hits home for me because my dad, like all my life, he worked, just work, took care of us and worked. And he was like, when I retire, I'm going to start doing things for me.
Yes.
When he retired, 3 months later, he passed away.
Oh my
He didn't get to do things that he loved. He made sure we had a good life, right?
There you go.
But that really hits home for me because it's like, I want to do the things that I enjoy now, you know, while I have the chance, because we don't know what tomorrow brings.
Yes.
So
You don't know.
when you're talking about legacy and actually doing what you love, you know, right now in the moment, like that really hits home for me.
I think gone are the days where like you work, save all your money for retirement, and then you go on vacation, Paris, Greece, all the things,
Or everywhere.
when you're 65, 70. What if you only make it to that age?
exactly.
So I think gone are those days. There's balance.
Yes.
right.
There is.
Yes.
Enjoying the time now.
Yeah.
Yep.
the time
Enjoy
that
your
we
time.
have.
Enjoy your money.
Yes.
Yes.
Like I'm over it because you're taught to save. Like when I was younger, my uncle's one of my uncles is an entrepreneur, and he started driving a taxi, and he didn't have he didn't even have a high school diploma, so he had his GED, but he had a family, and he's like, you know what? I'm driving this taxi right now, but I need to figure out how to take care of these kids. So then he went and got his contractor's license, started a construction company, huge construction company, great, amazing. I'm so proud of my uncle. But he said, Khadija, you know what? This job may not pay you what you want to be making right now. My first job out of college, I think I was making like $34,000.
Ooh,
Crazy.
Ooh, you were banking.
I know, I was rich. And he said, buy a property. And I bought my first property when I was 23, I want to say.
That's amazing.
23, yeah. And right out of college, I got a second job at Banana Republic. I used to go to work, and I went to Banana, but I was like, I need to save money. And I was in this save mindset. Yeah. Then as I got older, I'm like, why am I saving all my money?
Yeah.
Like, I need to be spending.
Money is
It's
meant to be spent.
yeah, and you can earn more. And hence
more.
Entrepreneurship. And what we're here is like, the harder you work, the more you put into your business, the more that you put into yourself, the more money that you have potential to make. So that's the lesson I learned.
Time is the one thing we don't get back. That money gonna come and go.
It sure is.
It's gonna come and go. But
sure
the time
is.
that we have, we don't get that back.
Don't get that time.
It sure is.
You gotta spend it wisely. So you started Goose and Gander. Did you ever go back to corporate? Or
I did.
You
did. So I no longer run Goose and Gander. Woo, that wore me out.
Yes.
It's the entrepreneurship struggles.
Entrepreneurship. I also just realized, like, you know, my ministry is coaching and mentoring founders too, which is okay. But I think it also gives me more credibility to say to another founder, you know what? I know what it's like sitting in your seat.
Yes.
Right? I have been there.
Yes.
You know, all my work now, I lead it through like the lens of like, what would Tahaji have needed, right? When she had her brand. And also I think it's important, especially today, there are a lot of mentors and coaches, okay, on the internet. Let's just say
a lot of them.
And some of them ain't even sat in his seat. Okay, they haven't even sat in his seat.
Maybe an arm and a leg for some mentorship.
Do your research before you hire
Yes.
a mentor or a coach on the internet.
Yes.
Please do your research. Please do.
I think she's speaking from experience.
No, thankfully I haven't gotten burned. But yes, just do your research because there are some bad ones out there.
Absolutely. So a lot of coaches who haven't, ran a business or anything, they read a book one time and was like, hey, I'm the coach. But this is fantastic. That's great for them. But again, like I have been through that, so I know what the experience. What was your question again? I forgot.
It was just about going back into corporate.
Yes, okay. Yes. Yeah, so actually speaking of money, while I was running my business, I actually did go back into corporate.
Okay.
So going back to needing funding, right?
Yes.
So going back to your other question, funding. Funding.
Yes.
Money.
Yes, money.
Show us the money. We need the money.
Listen, one of the phrases that sticks with me to this day, every day, to be honest, it kind of hovers over me is, in particular, Black founders are overeducated and underfunded.
Yes.
We were just talking about this.
overeducated and underfunded.
Yeah.
And that sticks with me a ton. So finding funding, right? Again, they say, oh, there's grants out there. There's all this. Okay, but how? I mean, you're the queen of you're the queen of, I mean,
She is.
you know, but,
11 grants here. One.
I mean, hello. I mean, but you know, right? The path it took to even find them, then the application,
The amount of
then
work.
the time, the work,
Yes.
then you need references. I mean, it's a whole process just for one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
funding was the other thing. So I had to self-fund. So I
Yeah.
actually I became a teacher while I was.
Oh, cool.
Yes, I was teaching elementary school. What? Listen.
Elementary, good. If I had Tahaji as like one of my elementary school teachers,
Oh my goodness.
what?
Yes,
We
I
cool.
taught. I did. While I was running my brand, I did. But again, if you can teach elementary school kids, you can teach.
You can do
everybody.
I believe it. I don't want to teach my kids.
Them little rough and tough toddlers and little 8-year-olds.
I couldn't even
That's
teach
so
my
unexpected.
kids.
I was not
I did
expecting
not expect that.
Listen, and I loved every second. Them kids were ragged.
I know.
Wow.
I loved it.
Oh my God,
I
that's
learned
so nice.
much. You know, and again, it helped towards. It's every little step, you know, everything in
Yeah.
your journey
Yeah.
is a step towards where you need to be.
Yes.
It just helped me become a better coach. Now,
Yeah.
Patience.
patience,
Uh-huh.
exactly. How to
Yes.
negotiate.
Right?
Listen, if you can win
What?
with a 4-year-old,
Oh my God.
listen, you winning at life.
Just call me the worst negotiator because it's whatever I say at this point.
Yeah.
What you say goes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
So I taught to raise money for my brand, right? Then I went back into working for Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship. I was actually mentoring students in that org. So I was volunteering. So I even found out about that organization. They do incredible work.
Wow.
Provide, funding for small businesses and things like that. Yes.
Yeah.
So then I went on full time with them. So I was working at Nifty. And then of course that led to where I am now.
Yeah.
So the self-funding, which a lot of so then that's another thing, right? That founders, have to deal with. It's like, how do you balance? Okay, you need more time for the brand, but then you need money.
Exactly.
So you work full time.
Chicken and egg
working.
Chicken and egg problem.
To fund your business
Yeah.
because your 9 to 5 is your funding.
Is your
Yes.
funding for the business,
Exactly.
but then now you have less time. So
Exactly.
now you tired. Now you worn out.
Yeah.
Not
Now
going
you-
to sleep till 4
Not going to sleep till
a.m.
4 a.m. Yes.
Not living up to your fullest
Not living
potential
full-
because
yeah,
you
you have spouses and kids and yourself, your
Crazy.
friend, all the things.
So crazy. It's
so
so
yeah.
crazy. Yeah. I always say I have 2 full-time jobs. I clock out of my 9 to 5 and then I start Aqua
Yes.
for another 8-9 hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy.
Okay, so how do you manage? How do all three of you? Let's talk about time for a second. I was flipping now.
Yeah,
for a
no,
second.
you're good. You're good.
Let's talk about time for a second. How do each of you manage
I don't think
your
I
time?
do it well.
Okay.
I don't.
And I didn't use the word balance, notice, because I think there's no such thing.
there is no such thing as
So
balance.
how do you manage your
There-
time?
Yeah. I don't. The crazy part is I actually am getting a sleep study done tomorrow
Ooh.
because I don't sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out if it's medical or
Yes.
if it's just anxiety or
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
So I have to go to a facility and have a sleep test done. A
That
sleep
is
study.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't manage my time well.
And you have no bags. We need a script.
I know.
It's not adding up.
It's
but
not.
we'll take your word for it.
Right, Khadija. All right. Right.
I don't sleep, but I have natural energy.
Okay.
So it's like, I'm
Okay.
always like go,
Yeah.
go.
Yep. So you have to find ways to unwind.
Yes.
That's your issue. Okay.
Yes,
Gotcha.
yes.
Okay.
Which is why apps help.
Yeah.
Calming apps help. Yes.
So for me, being a single mom, being a business owner, and working a full-time job up until a couple months ago.
Yes.
You talked about the imposter syndrome, and for me, I was like, I'm getting this paycheck every week. I'm not quitting this job,
No.
right?
Benefits.
Benefits,
hello.
right? Exactly.
401k.
401k.
Right.
Yep.
But then things started happening. God started moving, and He was like, this is your time to step away from
Yes.
this. I'm going to go ahead and push you out there.
Yes.
And you about to work ShampooTime full time. And ever
Yes.
since then, I tell y'all, in a couple months, these doors just been opening.
That's
See?
right.
I mean,
Okay,
That's right.
things have been happening that I always said, because I work this job, because I was working at the top defense company. So because I work this job, I can't be out there in the forefront like that, right? And so God said, I'm going to remove this job so that you can get everything that is for you in ShampooTime. But for me, being a single mom, working full time, having ShampooTime, there's no such thing as balance.
Yeah.
1 week I am the best mom, but guess what? The job I ain't done much. and ShampooTime is drowning, okay?
Yes.
And then the next week ShampooTime is at on 100, the job is at 50 and the kids at 25%.
Yes.
And then the next week I'm all in on the job and the kids, y'all, I don't know what y'all got going on. Y'all somewhere writing on the walls and asking to be fed, and ShampooTime is not doing well.
Yes.
So I don't believe there's a such thing as balance, but
totally
you just have to do what feels good for you. For me, my kids are, most important. So everything else falls under them,
Yes.
But then ShampooTime helps me feed my kids and put a roof over their heads. So I try not to beat myself up when I don't get everything done that I feel like needs to be done, right? There's always tomorrow. And so I threw the word balance out because I was like, I can't balance all this. I am drowning over here. But what needs to be done today? What absolutely has to be done today, right?
Exactly.
And do that.
You prioritize.
Right.
Yeah.
I do that. What else can I get done? If I get those things done, hey, that's a win.
Yep.
And I live each day like that. The next day, what absolutely needs to be done today? What bills need to be paid today so that the lights don't shut off?
Yeah.
So that
we need lights.
right. So that's how I handle all the things that I have going on.
Balance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that.
Oh, has a soft life. Don't. She got a soft life. Okay.
Tia always said, "Don't listen to her." Yeah. But to that point, I'll get to that point.
Yes.
But for me, I know, like, in terms of time management, I'm a better time manager now as a mom than I was before.
Okay.
Because you're almost forced to make the most
schedule
of your time, of life, of whatever, because you have kids and so much is going on. So, like, I have been forced to kind of create structure in my life where I didn't need structure before. And so I take kind of two approaches to that. And one, I learned from my dad. And so he would always say, just like raising us, that it's not that he favors like one person over the other. It may seem like that at times, but what he does is prioritize that particular child's needs at that time.
Okay.
And that way, everyone is basically getting what they need and getting fed. And so I apply that and feeling seen, right? And so when you're not feeling seen, right, is because maybe your sibling needs more of me at this particular moment in time. So I apply that philosophy to like my life in general in prioritizing tasks, like going to your point in terms of prioritizing. So what I need to get done today is what I will prioritize for that day.
Yeah.
And so that's between kids, family, work. I also have a 9-to-5, and then the 1,000,001 ventures and ideas and things that I want to do on a given day. You know what I mean?
So much
As an entrepreneur, I literally start a new business in my head every day. Every single day. So I do that. And then the second part of it is I get help when I need. Like I have just settled with the fact that I cannot do everything by myself. And so I do feel like, luckily, very blessed to be able to create structure where I have help from people, whether that's family, whether that's hiring, whether that's like I'm working to make this money, so I'm going to spend it in the ways where it's going to make me more productive.
Yes, I love that you said that. Because delegation, that's a whole nother. Delegation and community. I mean, going back to your question earlier, delegation and community, in particular for entrepreneurs, is hard because your brain is your baby too. I mean, you really have like more than one baby. Right?
Exactly.
It's your baby.
Exactly.
And it can be hard to delegate or turn over some tasks to like other people. But you have no choice. You have no choice. You cannot come on guys. You exactly.
I can't kill myself.
Nope.
I
just learned how to hire. I'm like, you know what? I need to hire some people to help me do this social media.
Yes.
I need help with these newsletters. I need help. And I have hired the help.
Yes.
Finally.
That's really important. I know, you talked about being an entrepreneur, you start a business in your head every day. I feel like I do as well.
Me too.
It's like I have so many ideas and thoughts, and I should do this and I should do that. But Tahaji, what traits and characteristics do you find in entrepreneurs? Like, what are those traits?
Ooh, self-awareness. So being able to know what you are really good at or learning as quickly as you can what you are really good at and what you're not really good at, right? So for example, I am an incredible organizer, right? Weirdly, I am not as good as being big picture, right? But I'm more like in the weeds. So like if I have it's like pieces of an idea, I'll bring in somebody who I know is a big picture thinker, right? To help me kind of bring, and I'm like, oh yes, that's what you say. And I have missing pieces, but that, right? So I think being aware of what you're good at, what you're not good at. So go back to delegating. If you know you're not good at social media, why you wasting your time?
Whack posts that don't nobody care about. Nobody care about these posts.
So self-awareness. I think the second is patience. Patience. In particular, entrepreneurship. In particular, if you have a product-based business. I think services too, but product-based, right? So a founder will start a brand on their website, in a farmer's market, on the website, and they think the next step is like the local store, then the next step, like the North Star is like a mass retailer or whatever it is, right? But that may not necessarily be for you. Or if it is, it may not be right now. Right? So being disciplined enough to have patience, which can be hard because, right, you got pressure, you got bills, all the things.
You got bills.
And you want to hurry up and get there.
And that person on the internet looks like they just did it.
I was going to say that social media effect.
They look like they did it overnight. When really they've been working on that for 15 years. And this is just their time to
caught up today.
In the trenches. They probably had 8 failed businesses before that.
Exactly.
You
know?
Exactly.
You know what I think about a lot? Audit.
He started so many businesses.
It was like, wow. When I learned,
I was like, what?
We didn't learn that until the end of the
Exactly.
Now I'm like, okay, it makes so much sense why he's successful now.
Because
he had a lot of time.
He had a lot of time to perfect it.
Yes. So
I agree.
hands down, patience.
That's how I feel sometimes when I feel like I'm not good enough. I'm like, how are they? But it's like they've been doing this for 7, 8 years. They didn't have business. This is your first business. You're learning everything as you go.
But people don't tell you.
Calm down.
Exactly.
Because like you said, Tahaji, like I started Aqua in 2014.
Yes.
It didn't launch till 2019.
There you go.
Because I had to go through the patent process. I had to find how to even make it, how to, I mean, what even, I was looking for manufacturers when I should have been looking for cut and sew facilities. Like, things like that you don't know. It takes a long time and people don't show you the background.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think the third thing is understanding the importance of capabilities. So the things that are not sexy. So like supply chain, manufacturing, right? Like when you start a business, you are the janitor. Y'all know this. You're an accountant. You the marketer. Right? You are everything when you're starting.
Everything.
It's all in one package right here.
And business are synonymous.
Yes. So when you say we, it's me.
It's me.
Yes.
But knowing that those things, the non-sexy things are important. Marketing is cool, right? That's sexy. We need that. Social media. What's the non-sexy things? Knowing your numbers.
Yes.
That's a big one.
QuickBooks in order.
I need to know.
At least the basics, right? Being able to speak to, those things about your business.
Yes.
I would say that's the third thing. And then I think the fourth, I'm sorry, y'all want to?
No. Knowing your numbers is really big. I didn't really start getting into my numbers until I started getting into different programs. And I'm like, okay, this is the things that I should know about my business. Because I'm like, what?
Yes.
What is this?
What is this?
What?
Yes, exactly.
Thankfully, I had a business partner when I first started, and she's a CPA. So our numbers were solid. When I tell you, they would ask us questions, I would look over like, and Like she would just go.
Well, see, so my ducks were in a row because when I first started making money, I was like, I don't want the IRS to come get me, right? So I actually had a friend, my CPA is a guy who I went to college with, but he knew it, I didn't. So the numbers were on point, but it's like, I'm looking at the numbers, but what do they mean?
No,
am I doing good?
She could
am
see
I
to it,
doing-
and then when she left, I'm stuck like,
Yeah, you gotta know your numbers. It's so important.
Yes. And I think kind of circling, like tying back to the first point of self-awareness is knowing the difference between working in the business and working on the business.
Yes.
Those are two totally different things.
Yeah.
And kind of knowing and understanding when to switch that hat on and off while your brand is growing.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing I still very much so struggle with because you almost don't have a choice but to work in your business.
Yes. Yes.
And so I think getting to the point where you can work on it, it's a little bit about what we talked about, delegation and things like that, the self-awareness and prioritization. But I definitely think that is a big area of that I struggle with because like.
How are you working through that?
yeah, oh, how are you?
Just working. I mean, just taking it day by day and trying to like really figure out what does that mean for me? Because it looks different for everybody.
Yes.
And so, hearing from other people is helping with that.
Yeah.
Like, how can I really take myself from actually fulfilling the orders and doing all the work to keep the things going? But I think just hiring more and kind of delegating more within the business is what's helping me work on the business.
On the business.
Yeah.
Okay. What about for both of you?
For me, like I said, I've recently started hiring help. So I realized that especially because I work full time, I cannot do everything. And from programs and things that I've been blessed to have been a part of, I learned that I cannot keep this up and grow.
Yes.
And as soon as I started hiring, Aqua started growing.
Yeah.
As soon as I started, getting help with marketing and getting help with, I did take some classes and they've been very beneficial.
Yes.
But actually implementing what you learn is important. You can take all the classes that you want to. If you don't listen,
implementing.
if you don't implement what you learn, it's pointless. So I literally started implementing things that I have learned along the way, and it has been a lifesaver. Again, just hiring help has been a great.
I'm not there yet. I'm still working knee deep in the business and on the business. For me, I'm in the business during the daytime, and I'm working on the business at night.
Yes.
Like this is when all of my ideas about where I want to take ShampooTime, the next level, that comes at night. Like when I'm just in my bed, writing things down, really just jotting down ideas. So in the daytime, I'm packing orders. I am, it's funny because I'll get an email or a DM and it's like, if I get a DM, I'm like, send an email to this email, right? And so then they send the email and I'm the one checking the email, right? So they're like, well, I sent a DM to the Instagram and they told me the email. I went on the chat feature and they said, and I'm really like, it's me, but hey, glad you're here. How can I help
That is
you?
so funny.
So it's me. I am everything.
Social media,
right?
tech help support, all the things. Customer support, all the things.
Yeah. But to Katie's point, you really cannot grow if you don't get that help. I am this is my baby.
Yes.
I'm so controlling.
Of course.
I want it this way.
Yes.
Right. But I got to get out of that if I want, ShampooTime to be that $1 billion business. And I know it can be.
About to be.
Right.
I finally hired an accountant. Trying to do it myself.
Now that's one thing I would never touch. Okay, I'm not touching numbers.
I don't blame you. You also be thinking something else too. So I also think knowing when to say no. Knowing when and how to say no. Yeah. Because everything is not for your business.
Yes.
When we start off, right? Like, because we're starting, everything looks like, oh yes, I want to say yes to everything.
Yeah.
But that may not be for you.
That's true.
Yeah.
Just like, again, a mass retailer versus a regional store versus D2C, right? Again, it's not like this straight line, like right to like who's gonna get there fastest or get there at all. Maybe D2C is just right for you. And beginning, that's the thing
that's
for you,
okay.
and that's okay. So I think knowing when and how to say no to your brand or certain things.
That
to your
is
brand.
great advice.
Yeah.
Because we do tend to just say yes to
Everything.
everyone. I'm just going to say
You don't
yes
wanna
to
miss
everything.
out.
I'm gonna
FOMO.
miss out.
Yes.
Yes. And then you end up like messing yourself up along the way because
Yes.
sometimes that one opportunity that you said yes to when you knew you shouldn't have blocked something else.
Something else from happening.
You know.
Yeah.
Discernment.
Yeah.
Having that discernment in the business.
There you go.
Yeah. At the beginning, it's understandable because
Yeah.
you're trying to test everything. Like you just want to see what sticks. But as you're growing, you can't say yes to everything.
Yeah.
Because
Very
everything is not a fit.
It's not
That's
fair.
very
No.
true.
Yeah, one thing you said, Tahaji, was that I know for me, everybody wants to be venture backed. It's venture capitalists. How can I get somebody to invest in my business?
Yes.
And I'm not on that route. It's like, I don't want, I'm not.
Me
I'm
either.
not. I'm not. I am going to grow ShampooTime and I'm going to be 100% owner. Okay, but everybody wants venture capitalists. It's like that might not be right for your business.
And to be honest, I highly recommend bootstrapping.
Yes,
if you can for the entirety of your brand, or as long
as
as
you can.
possible.
Yep.
You take that VC capital right when it's absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
Because remember when you do that, now obviously you're giving up some ownership, and now you're working for somebody.
But now you have a boss.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you
Now you
go.
have a boss.
Now you're boss. Now there's real pressure. Exactly.
Right.
Only if you desperately need it,
Yeah.
and if you need it to take the brand to the next level.
Yes.
Not just to
Exactly.
take it.
Just
Right.
exactly.
Yes. But
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
And see, for me, I'm okay with letting myself down. But when I have somebody else like, what are we doing here? It's like, calm down. You know, that's another added level of stress and pressure and anxiety that I don't want to deal with, okay?
Yes.
Let me be great on my own or let me fail on my own.
I would be open to angels at some point.
Absolutely.
Angels,
I can see that.
absolutely. Angel investors, 100%.
Yes.
But
Crowdfunding.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's
I just don't like owing anybody money.
and that's what I'm saying.
God.
I don't want to owe nobody any money.
The level, it's like
None.
a different level of stress. I mean, especially like with like venture type of money
Oh, yes.
too.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Now we're talking real money. We're
Yeah.
not talking like the
right.
It's real money. This is for real.
yes, we're talking hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Exactly.
Yes.
But there's a
Exactly.
time and place for everything.
Yes.
You just have to be, you have to know what that is.
Yes.
Exactly.
What works for you. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, that exhaustion be real. Okay.
Yes.
At night, I go to bed and I sleep good because I am so tired throughout the day.
I'm jealous at how she sleeps though.
Turn off the lights, turn off that TV. I am out. Okay.
Out.
Between the kids and the
Within 5
business.
minutes, like you're quick, you fall asleep quicker.
No, I don't fall asleep quick, but when I do go to sleep, like nothing is really waking me up. Like I'm sleeping
jealous
good.
too.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
I'm
yeah.
sleeping
I'm
good.
so jealous of people who sleep and sleep easily.
And sleep easily.
And stay asleep.
Yes. Could we talk about that for a second though?
Yeah,
Health, because
Oh,
Yes.
well, we were gonna touch on that, but let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Like, I'm sorry, we gotta talk about wellness.
Yes.
Okay, so my number one advice actually to young entrepreneurs would be: do not have a brand to detriment of your wealth, of your health.
Yes.
Which is actually your wealth. Which
Yes.
is your wealth.
Yes.
Okay. Like we know we have to work hard when you're entrepreneur. Like that's corporate entrepreneurship. Regardless, right? You have to work really hard. There's gonna be moments of ebbs and flows. You're not all the things that make sense.
Yeah.
Can I tell y'all? At the end of last year, I was burnt out.
Yeah.
I was burnt out. I got sick.
Oh,
So I got something called pityriasis rosacea at the beginning of this year. So it's basically like a breakout all over my entire torso.
Wow.
Not my face, thank God, because my entire torso.
Don't touch the face.
My back, my legs. It looked like chicken pox almost.
Wow.
It was crazy. So I went to the doctor, right? They did a biopsy on my hip because they figured out what it was.
Okay.
Come to find out, it starts from a viral infection. What? But I did more research and come to find out it's from stress.
Yeah.
You know, I was gonna get
A lot of stuff comes from stress.
stress. A breakout, my heart. It actually just started clearing up like this. It took like 6 months to clear up. And apparently you get it one time and like that's
And
it.
that's
It's your
that's-
body's
it's your
telling
body.
you, like, slow down.
Stress.
Yeah.
One of the books that I have been reading that has changed my life is Rest is Resistance by Trisha Hersey.
Take notes.
Okay.
Rest is Resistance.
We'll put it in the show.
Yes,
Put in
the
the show
book
notes.
changed my life, and she just wrote it like 2-3 years ago. Middle pandemic, talked about the importance of rest, but not rest just like sleeping.
Yeah.
but really being intentional about taking restful moments,
Yes.
right, and basically not killing yourself
Yes.
over the things. So. I would say that's my advice to entrepreneurs. Again, there's no balance.
Right.
But make
There's
sure
no
you're not
balance.
forgetting the importance of your wellness,
Yeah.
Taking
your
care of
rest,
yourself.
Yes.
taking care of yourself. That looks for me, that's meditation. I started meditating. I was like, oh, Lord.
Wow.
Yeah.
Meditation is like prayer though for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So morning and night, you know,
Yeah.
10 minutes meditation,
Yes.
journaling, right? Intentional with my sleep. So I'm like you, Khadija. My brain doesn't turn off, right? So like a dark before I took a nap. I'm getting more into naps, making sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome,
So
Tahaji.
There should be a
Yes.
nap for
Awesome.
grown-ups.
There
Like
really
we
should be.
Yeah. Why did
Yes,
they stop
like
that
they
at
do in
kindergarten?
I didn't know there wasn't.
Yeah, that's that soft life she got.
Take a
That's that
nap.
soft
If I'm
life.
tired, I'm gonna take a nap.
Yes.
They do it in Europe. They get
Yes.
siesta. What is it called? The siesta, right? When
I have
they,
no
they
idea.
They get nap time.
So
Yeah.
how do you take care of your mental health and wealth?
I would say for me, I come from a big family.
Yeah.
And so I make time for like interacting with them,
Yes.
doing the things that I enjoy.
Yes.
So it's not that I don't enjoy working or, you know,
But you need a
doing all
break.
this stuff, but you know,
Yes.
you need a break, you need a mental break.
Yeah.
And so I'm just, you know, sometimes I'm selfish about that, but in a good way. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, like, okay, well, I need
This
to
is
shut
me
down the
time.
computer,
Yes.
Yeah.
look at the kids, spend
Yes.
time with the kids, get with the family. We have Sunday dinners every Sunday,
Yes.
non-negotiable.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of, I take care of myself by surrounding myself with people that
With
I
your
love.
family. I love that.
That's right.
That's
Love
awesome,
that.
though.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
For
Yes.
me, it's working out.
Yes.
I work out.
Yes.
I try to be faithful every
Oh
morning.
yeah, I see your
but
story.
then-
You want those walks. You be walking. Yes.
But in college, I lost about 125 pounds, like naturally, just
Wow.
like working out and eating right.
Wow.
And then I had these 2 babies, y'all, and they just will not let me be great.
You look amazing. Stop it. You look amazing.
Oh, they
Stop
wouldn't.
it.
I mean,
But-
they're literally your inspiration for ShampooTime.
Yes.
That's pretty great.
Exactly.
No, they were. But, you know, whether I'm losing weight or not, it's important for me to take that moment, that time, that 30 minutes, 40 minutes in the morning before they get up and start running around.
Yes.
That's my me time. That's the time where I think about, you know, what I want from my life, not just what ShampooTime needs, not what my kids need. What do I need?
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
what's going to fulfill me? So I work out every morning. What about you,
Love that.
Cody?
Oh,
And you work out too, because
I do.
I be seeing you
I
working
do.
out.
I see you.
Yes.
So how she works out, though?
Yes, she does.
I do.
I'm like, okay,
Yes.
You know what? Next time I come back, we're gonna do a
We're gonna do a workout.
Yes.
I would love
Yes.
that.
I'm going to need it by the time you come back.
Yes, I love that.
I don't know. It's hard for me because I have a huge role in my family, like my actual
Yes.
family. So my life is kind of stressful. Like, I have all the things a little crazy.
Yes.
But I have learned therapy.
Yeah. Ooh, come
Therapy.
on.
I
Yes.
legit like my therapist literally told me that I was gonna give myself a nervous breakdown
Yes.
if I did not change
Yes.
a lot of things.
Yeah.
And help let people be accountable for themselves
Yes.
and like all those things. And I also drink wine.
Yes.
Lots of wine. lots of wine. And honestly, and then I learned too, when I feel like that anxiety coming on, like that feeling,
Yes.
I'll stop and pray.
Yeah.
Like I legit just stop and just pray.
Yes.
And like I just gotta pray it away. Like this is not gonna take over me
Yeah.
today.
Yes.
Like
That's what I do.
yes, because sometimes I'll wake up and it's like right there.
Yes.
And I'm just thinking about every single thing.
Yeah.
And then to your other point, saying no. I say yes to
I was about to say, KD
Everything.
can't say
Oh
no
my
to
God.
nobody.
I know.
KD,
We have to constantly.
be
I
like,
know.
Yes.
I'm a helper naturally. So I'm like that person that's like always helping. Like I'm gonna volunteer to help you and even ask me to.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
but I
Yes.
had to learn to not do that.
I told KD when I was in Paris, I said, I'm gonna send you my location because if anything happens, you're gonna be the first one there, okay? KD is helping everybody. If she go outside and see somebody out there or a pet out there that is
will tell
stranded,
you all the stories.
Okay.
Yes, KD. I love her. Her heart is made of gold, but you gonna
it's a
stress
blessing
yourself
and a
out.
curse because it's just like So yes, therapy. Do not sleep on therapy, y'all.
Yeah.
It has helped me so much.
Same.
Because I was like, oh my gosh, I really was about to have a nervous breakdown. Like I couldn't believe it.
Same.
Like you said, health stuff. My asthma was being crazy. Like
Stress.
everything was just.
Stress.
And then I'm like going to the emergency room thinking I'm having an asthma attack. It was anxiety.
Wow.
I was having panic attacks.
That happened to me too.
Really?
Earlier this year, I had chest palpitations, heart palpitations.
And it was
they were like,
anxiety.
girl,
It's stress.
stress.
It's
That's
stress.
it.
It's
That's
stress.
it.
And are we more stressed out at this time than our, mothers and fathers? Like, is it? What do y'all think?
I think
yeah.
my mom was definitely stressed. She's a single mom with 2 kids, and she had to take care of her grandmom that was blind. And I know she was stressed. She just didn't handle it well. She needed therapy, and she didn't go get some.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. I feel like with social media and all the negative things that we see,
I think it's a different type.
I think it's a different type of stress.
It's a different type of stress.
Yeah.
It's a different type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still there. It's a different type.
So find your ways to manage stress.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
That is how we're gonna end this.
Yo, stress.
Yes.
And on that note,
Well, so when you are not helping entrepreneurs like us, what do you do for fun?
Oh,
Like,
my
what do you do?
goodness.
What do you like to eat? What are you watching on TV? Like, what? Let's go to Tahaji's house right now.
Yeah, like, you know what? Y'all need to come to Minneapolis for me. The door is open.
I've never been either.
Yes, y'all need to come to Minnie
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, what I love doing, hang out with my family.
Yeah.
Like family is huge to me. Most of my family's still in Fort Lauderdale, but my in-laws are in Minnie. Hang out with my wife. She's like my best friend. We are friends first. Like I be like, girl, did you see that?
I love that.
So we hang out a lot. Working out, like you said. I love my sleep.
Yeah.
That's a hobby to me.
Yes.
I'm jealous.
Sleep. We love good restaurants. So going out to eat like possible.
Food, yes.
Food.
Yes.
TV shows right now. Olympics, obviously. Like I used to play basketball.
Yeah.
So
I saw you. Yeah.
So I'm a big sports junkie.
Oh,
so I love
wow,
watching
okay.
sports. Traveling.
Yes.
Listen, if there is a concert in Timbuktu and I want to see that artist, I'm
You're
there.
going?
Yes. So
I love that.
What's your favorite place you've been to? If you have
so
to pick a
far.
favorite place or a top 2.
Okay, top 2 is Thailand. I just
Yeah.
went a month
I
ago.
love Thailand.
Yes.
I don't know why
Phuket, it was amazing.
Phuket, I've never been to.
Okay,
Yes.
Phuket.
Been to
I
Bangkok.
cannot wait to go back. That flight was long as hell, though.
Oh,
But
yes,
Yeah.
it is
that flight
long.
is
Yes.
woo.
Oh,
Yes.
my
Yes,
goodness.
Phuket, and then number 2, Paris.
Okay.
Yes.
Paris is my favorite place in the whole world.
I have never been.
Like, oh my gosh, I was just telling somebody that this is my favorite place
It
in the
is.
world.
I love Paris.
Yeah.
I love
Okay.
Paris
I
so
have to
much.
go.
Well, I just went to Paris courtesy of
Yes,
Alibaba.com.
Yes.
Yes, and we talked about Alibaba.com in one of our earlier episodes and how they've helped our businesses. But
all of our businesses.
but for me especially, like I'm just so grateful for the partnership that came from winning a grant. Like a $10,000
Speaking of
grant,
grants.
right?
somebody give me some grant
turned
money?
into them sending me on a paid trip to Paris.
That's
Like
incredible.
That's
that
so amazing.
is so amazing. I'm so appreciative.
No
and
better
You
grateful
had
for
a
that.
great year, boo.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, it's been an amazing year for sure.
Yes, yeah. And then of course entrepreneurship. Like I truly just love it. So
Yeah.
I'm always reading, staying up to date, like following your journeys. Like so just entrepreneurship too. Reading books about entrepreneurship. So yeah.
Awesome.
You gave us one book. Do you listen to podcasts?
I
What's a
do.
podcast that you like?
Yes.
Oh my
Give
God,
our
many.
listeners a podcast.
Oh my God, so many. Okay, like I kind of go in and out of different podcasts.
Okay.
Right now, Mel Robbins is what I'm listening to.
Yeah.
So I'm listening right now. She's my
Yeah.
favorite.
I love her.
Yeah, that's my favorite one right now. What's the other one? I'm picturing his face.
She's big on mental health too.
Yeah, really. He has nice eyes. I can't remember.
Oh, the Is he Indian?
Yes, exactly.
I like
exactly.
him too.
Yeah,
What's his name?
I'm drawing a blank right now.
Yeah,
Why am I drawing a blank?
She'll tell us later, and then we'll put it in the
link
show
in the
notes.
show notes.
Yes.
Yes.
But Mel Robbins right now is the one I'm like, listening to consistently.
Yeah.
Even Oprah's always a good one, like especially her solo episode.
Yes.
Oh my God!
I have to listen to that.
She drops gems.
Drops gems.
Okay.
Just about like not just like entrepreneurship, but just like your wellness,
Like life.
living.
Yeah.
Yes. How do you approach life?
Yes.
Yeah. But Mel Robbins right now is my number one.
I love it.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Well,
I love it.
anybody got anything else?
I
Listen,
do,
I don't want it to
'cause,
end.
In the beginning, you talked about like just like, having like limited access to resources and nowhere to go. Can you just share at least like one resource with the audience that would help them along their entrepreneurial journey?
Ooh, this is a good one. Okay, so I'm going to share like a general.
Okay.
So this is going to be, so one thing to talk about earlier, capabilities, but understanding data for your business is, okay, if outside of wellness and outside of like those things with your brand and like make sure you do something, you love all the things, but really understanding the data in your business.
Yes.
Really like becoming a student to data and insights and all the things, right? So there are plenty of free resources on the internet. You can literally just Google, depending on what industry you're in.
Right.
So when I think about like CPG, right, we think about companies like Mintel, right? If you're using Shopify as your platform,
Yes, they have so much data.
they have
There's
so much
resources.
data.
Yes.
It's free if you're using that.
Yes.
But I would say in general, data.
That
Consumer,
is so good.
Consumer
That's a
data.
great. That's a great.
That is
that's
really
such
good
Getting
one.
familiar with your customers, your competitors. Data will take your business way further than you ever expected.
That is such
That is such a
great
good one. I
advice.
didn't know about Mintel until I met Tahaji.
Me either.
I'm so glad that you said that. That is so good.
Actually, I didn't know it because one of the quotes that I use to tell about how my headwear can help women is a quote from Mintel. And I didn't know who Mintel was. I'm just like, it just says Mintel data from blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, they're like a huge data source.
It's ridiculous. And there's one, right? There's so many others.
There is.
But yeah, like I said, Shopify is another if you're using that platform. But just getting familiar with data.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
This is so fun. We could have kept going.
This could have been a 4-hour episode. We could talk to you all day.
Yeah.
Let me just say this. I am so proud of each and every one of you individually. I love y'all as people. It's such an honor to be in this room. So thank y'all for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, we are just honored. Thank you for
so
coming
much.
on our podcast.
Thank you.
Let's
And
go.
for believing in us.
Yeah.
And for believing in us.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Tahaji. It has been an honor to have you on the podcast, for blessing us with your presence, flying all the way out here for little old us. But that is the end of the episode of Entrepreneu. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow us on all platforms, Entrepreneu Crew.
Yes.
And until next time.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, besties.